You're watching another Nerd Stalker interview. Okay, we're live. Welcome to another Nerd Stalker interview. Good morning. This is Greg Borey, aka Special Greg on Twitter for the Nerd Stalker Media Network. Today we speak with Jason Zuccari, the president, and Arvin or Avi Dixit, the CEO of Bubblews. So Bubblews is a social network that pays for your content, believe it or not. And Arvin, let's talk a little bit about Arvin. He's the CEO again, and he worked as a computational toxicologist. Then that was a mouthful when I was reading your bio there. And you were a fellow, so he's pretty smart at the Food and Drug Administration, FDA. And Avi used his intelligence, they say, to develop a model to predict drug-to-drug inhibition. So we're not going to go into this in this interview because that's probably a subject that no one on my channel is going to really understand. But anyway, he was the chair of the bioinformatics session at the Society of Toxicology conference, and now he's in the startup world. So, and then Jason Zuccari is responsible for all external relations at Bubblews, and he's an American-born entrepreneur, and he was raised in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. So he said his upbringing and experience in the healthcare industry instilled a passion to help others, which is kind of a cool thing. That's what we do here on Nerdstalker. So, and that's drive to serve Bubblews.com, he says, as the obstacle killer of Bubblews.com. So anyway, that was pretty good. Anyway, good morning, Avi and Jason. Thanks for joining us on Nerdstalker, man.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Whew. Okay, so you want to add anything more about yourself after that intro I did of you?
I think it was a great introduction. I think you got all the great talking points there.
We're just
Yeah, well,
simple, passionate guys. That's the best way I think to describe us.
I like that. Well, we'll talk about that because you've been doing this since 2012, man. So you didn't exactly launch it last month. So let's talk about that. So what motivated you to create Bubblews?
So our motivation came when we were reading about how a lot of the world's largest, the world's social media networks were creating the world's largest unpaid workforces. And we looked at those models and we said, there's got to be some way we can be more fair and be different. So that's kind of how the birth of Bubblews formed, in the sense that as a business, if we have people providing a service to us, we should equally do that to them. And we do that through compensating them through social interaction. So that was one of the main reasons why we started it. And it started as a beta that we launched back in 2012, which experienced tremendous growth. For a while, it was just Jason and I and some part-time programmers dealing with the huge volume of growth. So since about February, we were able to secure a round, and now we were able to rebuild the platform, get a staff here in San Francisco, and able to deliver the beautiful platform that you see today.
Wow, that must have been an interesting ride because you started it bootstrapped in 2012, and was that when you guys were on the East Coast, right?
Yes, we were just on the East Coast, and we just had this kind of calling that was saying, we got to get out of the East Coast and we got to go to the land of tech. If you want to be an actor, you go to LA. If you want to be a politician, you stay in DC. But if you want to change the world, you come to San Francisco.
Wow. I mean, did you guys just wake up one day after you started this and say, we better get some money? Or, how did this work?
Yeah, that's always on the mind, but it was more important for us to just see the growth and test, is our vision, is that something that can become a reality? And I think we've done a great job of proving that people are ready for the social media landscape to change, and I think they're ready for us. We still have a lot of work to do and a lot of obstacles to climb over, but for the most part, I think we're headed in a really, really positive direction.
So let's talk about the service, and can you explain to the listeners exactly how the service works and what type of content you could post, video, photo, or and number of words and all that stuff?
Absolutely. So it's a social content site, so people can post about anything they feel like posting. We have a few parameters that we ask that people write 400-character minimum, which is a little bit longer than most social networking sites, but it's great because people are breaking writer's block and really expressing their inner thoughts. And then people are compensated based off their social interactions, their likes, their views, and their comments. So it's a really interesting community how people really come together.
No, that's pretty cool.
So,
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, and it's roughly around a penny per like, view, and comment.
Penny per like, view, and comment. Wow. Wow, that's
Roughly.
incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think I saw a quote from Fox News here that you guys have already over 20 million visitors a month, which is incredible.
Yeah, and actually, since post-launch, we're doing almost a million people per day now, so it's really exciting. We've had an uptick, and I think 262% more posts per day are happening. So it's clear that people are starting to hear about us, and they're excited about us, and they really want to help support the mission. And they know that, we're not perfect right now, but that we keep continually strive to build out a better service and add new features. So this is, I think, one of the most exciting things that we'll ever do in our lives. So it's been a lot of fun.
No, every entrepreneur that we interview here on Nerd Stalker says that, and a year later I see them do something else, or in addition to what they're doing. So it's a disease that you've got now. So you're just gonna have to live with this for the rest of your life now. but anyway, let's go into that. You pay for this content, so you can post photos or videos.
Right now, we don't accept videos, just to kind of the bandwidth cost, but that's something that we plan on adding down the road. But yes, definitely photos. We're going to allow you to add multiple photos in the near future. So right now, it's kind of like a photojournalism in a sense that people post beautiful photos and then write their social content, and it just keeps the flow of the website, I think, in harmony.
So now that you're able to get a million views a day, or what, I mean, that's just incredible. Obviously, the advertising model becomes a little bit more easier, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So just like any other social network, advertising is one of the biggest revenue streams that we have, but in a sense that we want to give back to people. So that's not only our only revenue stream. We plan on opening other revenue streams down the road that we can talk about in future interviews with you. But primarily right now, we want to make sure that we can build a direct sales platform that people can come directly and purchase advertisement through our platform, rather than us having to utilize third-party networks and advertising agencies and pay them their commission and those types of things. So there's a lot of work for us to do over here, but we're really excited.
Wow, you're really breaking the mold across all the barriers, man. That's incredible. Oh my God, that's incredible. I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, so the surround of funding that you guys secured is really for infrastructure growth and to do things like you just said, is to build your own ad delivery network or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's been great. We've actually really ramped up our customer service. That's something we're taking pride in ourselves now, that we actually have staff to really stay connected to the community. Prior to that, you've got millions of people coming to the site, and you got two guys trying to keep up with emails and try to run a business and try to do advertisement, and it's crazy. And as you know, Greg, when you first start out, everybody thinks you're this big company, and you got two guys, so.
And you'd be surprised what a handful of passionate people can really do. And I think, during the launch, the staff and us, we think that have gone through every human emotion possible. So there's really nothing that I think could phase us moving forward. We're a lot stronger as a team, and we're really excited to continue to build out the vision.
That was great. No, I think that was cool. But now, yeah, I guess that's a very good point. I mean, any startup people that I interview, the one thing is passion. I mean, because otherwise you'd say they're crazy to do this thing, right?
Yeah, rather be crazy than normal, though,
So I mean, since you launched it in 2012, so that was over 2 years ago now. I mean, and it sounds like you learned a lot. I mean, there had to be times where you guys were saying, are you kidding me? Two guys looking at all this stuff coming in, we can't do this, right?
Well, the important thing, I think, when you're starting a business is that you're going to have ups and downs, but you have to stay focused during the ups, and you also have to stay even more focused during the downs. So the whole time, we kind of knew that this vision would work, and that we just have to keep fighting and keep building it and keep making it better until we were able to get the staff and get the office, and that's where we are now. So, nothing's easy. Changing the world is not easy.
I want to ask you, actually, there's a question I had about that. So you most likely had your full-time gigs while you were launching this, right? Like everyone else does, right?
Yep, absolutely. I was still working at the FDA. Jason was still running the electronic risk management company, and we basically were just putting in overtime, overtime all over the place. But it doesn't feel like work. When you're doing what you love, it really doesn't feel like work. So being at the FDA and those types of places, that's kind of like the bureaucracy and the work, but we really feel like we were in our zone when it came to, working with the community and trying to instill that, hey guys, there's something huge coming, just stick with us, those types of things. So I think our community is really proud of us, and that's, to Jason and I, that's honestly the most important thing.
So when did you switch over? I mean, when did you say, okay, we got to either do this full time, or we might as well just stick with our regular full time jobs? I mean, when did that crossover point come?
Well, last summer, Avi said, we gotta get off the pod and run now, and so we moved out to California, and that was really the change. Moved out here last summer and been running ever since. So.
Yeah, how do you like the culture out here?
Oh, we love the culture out here. I mean, there's just so much energy, so much enthusiasm. Everybody's, doing their own thing. You could be at a Starbucks and somebody in sweatpants and a T-shirt, happens to run, $1 billion fund. So it's really cool. It's a lot different than the East Coast where, a lot of people wear suits and those types of things. It's just a little bit more relaxed while also being a lot more intense out here too. So.
Yeah, we definitely have to hang out, because if you could identify those guys with $1 billion and sweatpants, I need to know how you do that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, on the business side, I think that, you've talked about scalability, which is kind of like something any kind of social network's going to need, right? I mean, infrastructure and scalability. I mean, how many people do you guys have on staff right now?
We have about 10 people right now. We're hoping by the end of this year we'll have closer to 20, just so we can decrease the latency between ideas that we have and actually implementing them. There's a little bit of lag time, obviously, when you have a small staff. So we'd like to make that a lot less.
So well, I know, I know, Avi, you're technical, but science technical, but like who's doing all the architecture and stuff like that? Do you have a really good CTO, or I mean, are you guys like together just figuring it out, or?
Yeah, we've got a great CTO. We have a chief data scientist. We've got a great server infrastructure guy. So we've got a very, very elite, small team of very, very talented people that have all really come together serendipitously. Even our UX and UI designer, she's amazing. We've really, really got a great team that believes in the cause.
Wow. And really put their heart and soul into it. And that's the one thing that I feel our brand really does a great job, is that charisma. Charisma isn't something that you can copy, and the entire staff has very differing personalities, very strong personalities, but more importantly, they have that charisma, the ability to transfer their heart and soul into a product that people use, and that's one of our best, talents, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Now I think that we'll end the interview on that upbeat note, because I think that was a great subject you did. So anyway, let's close off the interview, guys, and then tell the listeners how they could get a hold of Bubblews and get on and earn some money.
Check us out. Get on Bubblews.com and start writing.
Takes less than 60 seconds to set up. So I think once you get the hang of it, you're really, really going to enjoy Bubblews. It's a special community.
Yes, and you use social networks to log in, like Facebook, which is kind of funny. Would be kind of funny, actually, but
no, actually, we had no connections at all. It's people have been signing up on their own, and then people can reshare their posts throughout other social networks, whatever avenues or venues you use, and to repost their articles and their words. So.
Okay, so I guess this is going to prompt me to move NerdStalker onto your network. Okay, I got it now.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely follow you on there.
Okay. Anyway, thanks. Well, I appreciate the interview, guys, and thanks for your time this morning. Anyway, that was Jason Zuccari and Avi Dixit of Bubblews, a service that pays you for your content, finally. So anyway, thanks for joining us, everyone. This is Greg Glory, a.k.a. Social Greg on Twitter for the NerdStalker Media Network, where we believe in tech, startups, design, and you. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and be careful out there. Hey, thanks, Jason. Thanks, Avi. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
Take care.